Hammer and roll.
Get her done. Dyko.
All right, I've got 7 o'clock. I now call this special council meeting of the City of Santa Fe, March 19th, 2026 to order. Natalie, roll call, please.
Mayor Brandon Odo.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Marks.
Here.
Councilmember Schrader.
Here.
Councilmember McCamey.
Here.
Councilmember Jeanette.
Here.
And Councilmember Dickerson.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Natalie. I'll now invite Greg Verm up with Santa Fe Worship Center to do our invocation, and then we'll do the pledges together.
Heavenly Father, King of the universe, we come to you in Jesus' name. We thank you for our city and the blessings you have set up on Santa Fe. I thank you for our city government leadership and those that volunteer their time for the betterment of Santa Fe. We pray for you to give them wisdom and understanding as they lead our city. We also pray for protection of our law enforcement. Thank you for keeping them safe as they protect our city from evil. We pray for angels to encamp around our schools, and we lift our children up to you as they learn and feel secure. Father, we thank you and we love you. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Greg. Greg's my cousin, by the way.
I'm sorry, Greg.
Yeah, well, we all have a cross to bear. Some are heavier than others. Thanks for being here, cousin.
Thank you.
I noticed he wasn't bragging about it.
No, he didn't want to admit it. That's okay. All right. Next, I will go ahead and present the Mayor's Spirit Award for this month. So the Mayor's Spirit Award is an award that was started by the most recent mayor, Bill Pittman. And the origin of this award is to recognize folks that really don't want any recognition, which makes it really hard to get the recipients to actually come and accept the award sometimes. But it's always been an honor to continue that tradition alive. That Bill started in recognizing folks throughout our community that just get up every day and embody the spirit of Santa Fe, just taking care of their neighbors, doing the right thing, and doing it because it's the right thing to do, not because it gets them some sort of special recognition. So I've got a very special recipient. It's not very often. In fact, I think there's only maybe been 1 or 2 employees here at the city that have ever received this award. Most of the time it's community members. But this is a special exception that I made for this award. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit more about her once I get her up here. But this month's recipient is Miss Lori Tillett. She's not going to be very happy about it. Lori has been at the city for quite a while now. How long has it been? It feels like about 15 years.
3 years.
3 years. And, we've had some transition, both on council and administratively during that time. And Lori just shows up to work and does her job, serves the citizens of Santa Fe to the best of her ability, represented the city on the Chamber of Commerce board for a while, and was instrumental in building that relationship that we have with the chamber. But Lori just does what needs to be done and doesn't gripe about it, doesn't complain about it, and she does it very well. And the word tells us that whatever we do it as if we're doing it under the Lord. And I can tell you, you're a great example of that. And so thank you for everything you've done for me, for this city. We would not be nearly where we're at, especially with our social media and announcements and just everything that you do here at the city. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
We appreciate you being here.
duck and weave. Worth the weight in gold.
You didn't want to say a few words?
Then also, before I turn it over to the chief, I don't particularly have a long city manager's report. I just want to recognize that today is St. Joseph's Day, and St. Joseph is a very important saint here in Santa Fe. And we have a great Catholic community here, Italian, Sicilian Catholic community here that celebrates St. Joseph's Day. And Jeanette, Councilmember Jeanette's one of our Knights of Columbus, and on the fish fry team, they do a great job feeding our community every Friday during Lent. But I'm going to tell you just real briefly a story. So my family's been here for almost 100 years now. Whenever my great-grandpa bought the place over off of Avenue J, he was working on building a house and settling once they came over from Sicily. And before they could really do anything, they had to find water, because if there wasn't water there, if there wasn't a well there, then, you know, the land really wouldn't be suitable. And so he dug hole after hole after hole, and he could not find any water. And he had just about given up on it. And one night, he had a dream. An angel of the Lord came to him. He was working on digging a well, and it had the stem in there. And an angel of the Lord came to him. St. Joseph came to him and said, go out there and hit that drill stem one more time, and water will erupt in the middle of the night. So he gets up, throws his robe on, goes out there, takes that sledgehammer, hits that stem one time, and water gushes up. And I think that's just an awesome story. They obviously prayed for St. Joseph to help with the famine in Sicily many years ago. But anyways, just want to commemorate St. Joseph's Day here in Altaloma, Texas, and thank the KCs for the St. Joseph's altar and the fish fries and everything that they do here in the community.
If you don't mind 1 second, Mayor. We have a St. Joseph's altar. We had it last Sunday, and there's a lot of people that get involved. We have a free spaghetti dinner for anybody that wants to come. Donations are accepted. And then the ladies and everybody donates to the altar. And then we have an auction after the dinner. And everything that we raise for that, we turn over to the retired nuns in Houston at the nuns' house. I forget the total name of it, but it was like $20,000 worth of.
That's awesome.
Donation.
It's the nuns that used to teach at the school, right?
Correct.
Yeah, at Our Lady of Lourdes. Yeah, that's awesome. Yep, great stuff. Very good. All right, well, Chief, I will turn it over to you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I would like to present to you Ms. Janelle Fonseca. She is the newest member of the Santa Fe Police Department. She comes to us from Alvin Community College, LE Academy. She graduated back in December, and we've already gotten her started on FTO. So tonight, I would like to present her with her badge and do her formal oath of office and all of that.
Awesome. Welcome to Santa Fe. Thank you for choosing Santa Fe.
All right.
We're happy to have you here.
If you would for me, face me, please, and raise your right hand. And then repeat after me. I, Janelle Fonseca,
I, Janelle Fonseca,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of
the duties of
police officer for the city of Santa Fe
police officer for the city of Santa Fe
and of the state of Texas,
and of the state of Texas,
and will do the best of my ability
and will do the best of my ability
to preserve, protect, and defend
to preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Careful, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Officer Fonseca, we look forward to having you here in Santa Fe. You bet. Thank you. All right. City Manager, did you have anything now, or?
Yeah, I just will, a quick one event that we've got coming up on March 28th. I just want to remind everybody about the Easter egg hunt that we've got going on, and we hope that you'll make it out and join us for that festivity. But that's all that I have before we jump into the report.
Awesome, thank you. And for maybe Officer Fonseca's family, y'all are more than welcome to stay. Please don't feel like you have to or that you're going to be rude if you get up and leave. That's totally fine. You're not going to hurt our feelings, but you're more than welcome to stay as well. All right, presentation and approval of minutes from the February 12th regular meeting and the February 26th regular meeting. Council, those minutes were included in your agenda packet. Hopefully you had the time to review those.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Natalie, roll call, please.
Councilmember Schrader?
Yes.
Councilmember McCamey?
Yes.
Councilmember Jeanette?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickerson?
Yes.
And Councilmember Marks?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, council. We'll now have presentation of departmental staff reports. Mr. Collins.
All right, let's jump right on in. Okay, we're going to start off with municipal court. So for the month of February, the number of cases filed went up significantly. It went to 288 cases. Our warrants issued went down for the month of February, down to 130. But we are proud to say that our revenue collected went up significantly in the month of February, right over $46,000. So the court is definitely helping us out big time, bringing in that funding. All right, next, let's move to community services. There were 189 permits issued for the month of February, 13 of those being new residential permits, so that is definitely up from the past few months. We took in right over $66,000 in fees, and we completed over 140 inspections. All right, next, so as far as rentals go, we had 4 rentals at the Runge Community Center. We had 1 at the Pavilion and at Runge, and then we had 1 at Thelma Weber and 0 at Tambrella Park, and we brought in $880. All right, next, for a little bit of unfortunate news for us, from the finance department is our sales tax revenue is down again this month. So we're roughly down 5% below what we were last year. And if you remember, we usually budget right at about 9% of an increase every year. So we are 5% below what we took in 2025. I just think that's, part of the economy, and just the inflation is definitely cooling off. So I think that's got a lot to do with that. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the report from HDL. It was not updated, our sales tax snapshot, until right this afternoon, but we had no change in our top 10 taxpayers. But I just want to read that list just so that our community is aware. Our number 1 sales taxpayer is Sloan Building Supply. And then number 2 and 3 is Amazon. 1 is the marketplace, so Amazon itself, and then the other is for Amazon wholesalers, for people who sell off of Amazon. Number 4 is HEB. Number 5, Tractor Supply. Number 6 is Reliant Energy off of their bills. Number 7 is Dollar General. Number 8 is McDonald's. Number 9 is Bighorn, and 10 is O'Reilly Auto here in Santa Fe. So glad that our businesses are bringing in customers and bringing in sales tax for us.
So McKinney is Bighorn.
McKinney is McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Yeah. All right. All right, and moving on to police, I have provided you for what Councilman Jeanette requested at the last meeting, an update of every stop that we make in the city of Santa Fe. So that is provided to you right there, so you can look through that. And if you have any questions after, we can talk with the chief about that. But as far as calls for service, we had roughly 3,300 calls for service this month. We had 61 arrests, 561 traffic stops, and 218 traffic citations were given. In CID, they have 72 active cases. They cleared 21, and then they have 27 new cases for the month of February. All 6 Motorola and 70 handhelds programs are in service right now. All the tobacco grant citations that were 6 of them that we were allotted have already been given out. Both of the new Durangos were put into service. And then all of our full-time sworn staff have completed their mandatory training through TCOL.
So Seth, you said the new Durangos, so all 4 of them are in service now?
No, those were the 2020.
The first 2 we got?
Yes,
Okay. We're still waiting on upfitting on the other 2?
They're at the outfitter right now.
Okay.
All right, to move on to Public Works, we had 70 segments of road that were patched. We excavated Avenue S from 4.5 to the west side, 1,850 linear feet. We did 950 at 15th Street from Avenue K to Highway 6, and then 550 on Avenue L from 11th to 12th, and then Ponderosa on the north side of town from FM 646 north to the end to the south side, so 1,175 feet there.
There was quite a bit there on Avenue I between 13th and 14th too, right?
That's on for the month of March. Yeah, we're a month behind.
How many driveways do we do, Billy, on these 1,800 feet? Driveways? Culverts?
20 linear feet.
There are at least about six.
That's on the next page.
Yes, coming up right here. So we did 144 linear feet of new culverts that were set. We had 20 linear feet of culverts that were reset to correct drainage. They washed out the culverts along the ditches that were excavated. They cleaned out the culvert entrances throughout the city as needed. For our library update for February 2026, this was the second highest month of the fiscal year that we've had. So we had 1,912 circulations. We have 72 active accounts. We had a door count of right under 2,500, and then our per capita ratio is 16.34%. So our taxpayers saved $18,300 roughly at the library. And then for the fire marshal, he did 5 burn pile inspections, 47 burn permit renewals, 185 total active burn permits. He had 4 fire calls in the city limits. He did 2 fire plan reviews, 14 fire safety inspections, and then as far as code enforcement goes, he has 12 new cases. He closed 4 cases, and then we have 14 cases open currently within the city.
Is it, Chief Renta, is the 4 fire calls, is that just 4 of them that you were called out on, or is that total for the month? There were 4 fire calls in the city limits?
Two that I actually went to.
I'm sorry?
For the month in the city limits, 2 that I actually went to. But every fire call that comes in, I'm either they call me out or I call and inquire.
Gotcha. Okay, so that was total?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
In the city limits. They
Gotcha.
experienced several more, but I have to.
Sure. Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
All right. I'm going to open this up because I can't see it from here. All right, and to move on to the Santa Fe Resiliency Center, their counseling hours increased from January to February by roughly 7.5%, which is a 10% increase from February of 2025. So they are definitely growing in the number of people and hours that they're serving. Next is the continuation of counseling clients total. Their continuing clients increased from January to February by roughly 10%. Which is also about a 9.66% increase from February of 2025. So really glad that they are serving our residents, and I think that more people are hearing about them, and they're definitely serving our residents, and it's great that we were able to work with them on getting that VOCA grant. They got a 10% increase this year from the federal government. So really excited for the Santa Fe Resiliency Center to continue to be in operation for us and to continue to serve us. All right, is there any questions?
Council, any questions for Mr. Collins? All right, thank you, sir. All right, item number 5, citizen comments. Any person with city-related business not on this agenda may speak to the council. Time is limited to 3 minutes in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. The city council may not deliberate on the comments. Personal attacks will not be allowed, and personnel matters should be addressed to the city manager during normal business hours. Do we have any citizens that would like to address council? No? All right. Well, then we'll move right along into business. A, old business. 1, consideration and possible action. Second and final reading of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Santa Fe, Texas, repealing and replacing ordinance number 3-96 regarding regular city council meetings to conform to section 3.12, meeting of council of the city charter. Mr. Collins.
This is just a continuation from our last meeting of moving from 2 meetings a month to 1 regularly scheduled council meeting a month. This is the second hearing for that. And so as long as this is still en route with what City Council would like to do, it's definitely staff's recommendation to move forward with having the 1 meeting a month.
Council, any discussion?
Move to approve the second and final reading of an ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance number 3-96, regular city council meetings as presented. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the second and final reading of an ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance number 3-96, regular city council meetings as presented. Any citizen comments? Hearing none, Natalie, roll call, please.
Councilmember Dickerson?
Yes.
Councilmember Marks?
Yes.
Councilmember Schrader?
Yes.
Councilmember McKamey?
Yes.
And Councilmember Jeanette?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, Natalie. B, new business. 1, consideration and possible action approving the calculation and distribution of the annual reimbursement payment pursuant to the Chapter 380 Economic Development Agreement for Mulberry Farms. Mr. Zepeda.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. So this agenda item authorizes the first annual reimbursement payment to the developer under the Economic Development 380 agreement, which has been in place since 2021. So under the agreement, payments to the developer begin once the total appraised value of Mulberry Farm PID exceeds $25 million. That threshold has now been met, and it's valued at $37,793,171. So quick math, it's based off of all the properties. So, and it's what's collected. So let's just say 600,000, which is close, was collected for up to this point. And as you remember in our prior budget discussions, the city's portion of that collection is 10%. So 10% of that is $60,000. And of the agreement, half of that goes back to the developer, $30,000 go back to the developer in the calculation. And that's close to what we're looking at here. After the calculation, which was done by P3 Works, the first annual payment is $31,218.03, representing that 50% of the tax receipts collected by March 1st. So the city budgeted already $46,040 for this payment this fiscal year. So we're actually to the positive about $14,800. After the payment, we'll have $768,721.97 left on the $800,000, which was promised to the developer in 2021.
I have a question. This agreement's gonna grow, this payment's gonna grow every year as the value of the property. My question is this: is the value of this subdivision the residential? Or
It's
will it
everything.
add the commercial? When the commercial comes in, will that be added to this?
It's everything in the PID area. And if, I believe the commercial and the residential are included in the PID designated zone, then yes.
How much, you, 36, 31,000?
$31,218,
We budgeted 46.
and we budgeted 46. Yes, sir.
I do like that we budgeted. That was my when I was first going through this, I was, oh man, I know Rudy budgeted this every year. I know he did, and then I got down to it, I felt good. But that was the only question I had.
So P3 Works will be working with me again this year in the budget process, and we'll be estimating for next budget year what we can expect that payment to be, and we'll add that to the next year's budget, so we won't be
How much
surprised.
have we built out right now, do you know of?
I believe there are 200 issued COs, so I believe that's the current number of units. Is that correct, Georgia? It's about 200 for the number of COs over at Mulberry Farms?
Yes.
We're empty on our commercial though, when that goes in. That's
Yeah,
gonna change the game.
I know they were still building houses, I don't know how they got a CO. So that was probably-
I don't know what the exact number of open lots are.
So they're almost to a point of being built out, but when the commercial does go in, we will have the benefit of getting the sales tax revenue back to offset that. So there is some offset.
Get them on the move, Georgia, come on.
So Rudy, quick question. The roughly 14 to 15,000 difference, is there a way that we can capture that now and hold it, knowing that next year is going to increase? So we have those funds available?
Well, the funds are available in the fund balance at the end of the year. So, but we can definitely look at making sure that whatever the budget is supposed to be, let's say it's 31,000, we can add 15,000 to next year's to make sure we cover us.
I guess what I'm getting at is knowing how fluid our budget is and how things come up. I don't want to pull this money away for something else if we don't have to, knowing that we're gonna have to spend it next year.
Just earmark it for. the
Yeah.
Yeah, this,
same
well,
thing.
this makes up for the, what, 8,000 difference in sales tax?
But Rudy's got this on he's got it calculated in right now, so we're gonna know.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we're
I will make sure that there is enough in there,
Do you think
even if
next
we
year
are.
you'll be above,
It was like 8,000.
have a forecast above more than we have to pay?
Yes, this is the same as we
That's
did.
what's in that's what's in your, okay.
And that's what the goal is, whatever
So we're
P3
not
works,
surprised.
or Andrea, she'll come over and she'll talk to us again, as she always does, just to make sure everybody is on the same page and say, we're expecting 46,000 this year or 50,000. We'll make sure we add that money that we've saved this year towards that, and I can explain to council, this is the reason why we're budgeting 15,000 more, because we saved that last year.
And so will that help us based on interest? Is there any penalty for paying this off early if we get to the point where we can? Do we benefit in any way?
I don't know. I'll have to ask P3, but that's a good question.
Not unless they'll take a settlement. Hey, if will you take 400,000 if we pay you right now?
No, I mean, so for example, if next year we budgeted 55,000 and we have an additional 15 from this year, is there a penalty for paying 60 next year and getting ahead of that imbalance?
Yeah, because it says, the payment will reduce the remaining reimbursement balance owed under the $800,000 cap plus applicable interest.
Right.
And we talked about that last week. What is that applicable interest?
Right.
Hasn't really been clearly defined.
So, yes, so this is the first reimbursement, which means that the interest will be accruing and will be calculated and paid each year going forward for the outstanding balance. So the faster we pay it off, which leads me to believe that, and I'll double check with P3, that if we pay it off early, it'll reduce that interest. Yes, sir.
Right. All right.
We're paying them $800,000 plus interest on their own project. Wow. All right. Council, any other discussion?
I move to approve the calculation and distribution of the annual reimbursement payment pursuant to the Chapter 380 agreement with Mulberry Farms LLC and authorize the finance director to process payment upon certification by P3 Works.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the calculation and distribution of the annual reimbursement payment pursuant to the Chapter 380 agreement with Mulberry Farms LLC and authorize the finance director to process payment upon certification by P3 Works. Council, is there any further discussion? Any citizen comments? Hearing none, Natalie, roll call, please.
Councilmember Jeanette.
Yes.
Councilmember Dickerson.
Yes.
Councilmember Marks.
Yes.
Councilmember Schrader.
Yes.
And Councilmember McKamey.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, council. Item number 2, consideration and possible action, first and final reading of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Santa Fe, Texas, amending the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget and adopting revised ERP general ledger account codes. Mr. Zepeda.
Mayor, council, so this is a long time coming. This ordinance accomplishes two things. It's going to make a small number of mid-year adjustments, and it formally converts the same time the city's adopted budget, which you all adopted back September 11th of last year, to the new ERP accounting system's chart of accounts, which means that if council approves, starting Monday, all of our accounts will now incorporate the new accounting structure. That's with our new ERP or accounting system that's going to handle our payroll, financial accounting, purchase orders and requisitions, HR, and fixed assets. So the works. And it'll be online so that if something ever goes wrong with our servers or our computers, we can access the financial for the city anywhere. So it does help us. There is no change to the net total of the budget adjustment. It's still 0. The primary driver of the ordinance is, of course, the management system, the new ERP management system, and we need to make sure that council approves the change order to the new system for auditing purposes.
All right, council, any questions for Rudy?
To approve of the ordinance amending the fiscal year 2025-2026 annual budget and adopting the revised ERP general ledger account codes. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve of the ordinance amending the fiscal year 2025-2026 annual budget and adopting the revised ERP general ledger account codes. Council, any further discussion? Any citizen comments? Natalie, roll call, please.
Councilmember Marks?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickerson?
Yes.
Councilmember Jeanette?
Yes.
Councilmember McKamey?
Yes.
And Councilmember Schrader?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, council. Thank you, Rudy. Item number 3, discussion and direction regarding the sale and discharge of fireworks within the city limits of Santa Fe, Texas. Chief Renta.
Council, first I want to mention that this is a portion of the strategic plan that you guys will be adopting in a couple of items, hopefully. And so we're bringing this up tonight to get direction from you guys. But I'll let meeting lead the way. But I just wanted to remind y'all that this was part of the strategic plan to talk about, what days maybe that we should amend, the days that we allow fireworks on, and then potentially allowing fireworks sales in the city. But we'll leave that up to you guys. Manny, I'll let you go ahead and jump in.
Mayor, council, good evening. So this is a interesting topic, not only for the citizens, those who want to participate in such activity or celebration, but also as a community, as a safeguarding that we want to do for our community and quality of life concerns. So currently in Galveston County, there's 2 communities, which is League City and Dickinson, that are actively allowing consumer-grade fireworks to be utilized during celebration times for 4th of July and New Year's. So the dates are regulated by the state, and as long as they're consumer-grade fireworks. There's safety parameters involved at the local fire marshals, and code has applied for allowing their citizens to actively utilize the fireworks. So at your direction, we can do an assessment of sale and usage or discharge of consumer-grade fireworks only. And I stress that because, for one, the challenge for at the consumer level, those are the ones that are readily accessible that, anybody can go purchase as long as they're over 18 versus a pyrotechnic type specialized fireworks that would need a regulated licensing and stuff. So I'll be glad to conduct, a thorough assessment or research, at any direction you guys would like to go.
Chief Renta, you've been a fire marshal for a long time.
Almost.
About 8 years total.
You called him old?
No, just experienced.
Okay.
What's your opinion?
Well,
From a practical enforcement perspective.
as a fire marshal, it is a losing battle trying to enforce the community on the extinguishing side, on the active enforcement to tell them not to utilize fireworks. As an individual, personally, I've got the scars to tell you in my youth that we have to exercise extreme caution. We do need to have the safeguards in there. I encountered this past New Year's celebratory evening that I was out doing firework patrol. I encountered some people kind of maybe lackadaisical with safety in mind, and I saw responsible parents with their children in a responsible manner, even though it was in violation of code, still exercising, consumer-grade fireworks in a responsible fashion. So I'm not a personal big fan. However, I have teenage children, and they seem to enjoy it. So it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up, Mayor. It can go either way.
What brought this up?
This was brought up in the strategic plan to discuss a potential sale within the city of fireworks because they're really right outside the city limits, and then also amending the days, like looking at 4th of July and then New Year's. And that was the date. We had to do it by the first meeting in April. And so we put it on for this month. Or it may have been March. I'm sorry, it may have been March for the first meeting in March for that item. So it was just the timeline that was in the strategic plan and just trying to follow it that we put this up.
And I think a big part of it, Bubba, was that we have an ordinance that's almost impossible to enforce.
You're not gonna ever enforce it.
Yeah, so that's what generated the conversation.
Yeah, and when,
Part of that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
when I first got on council, and I don't know, maybe you, I don't remember exactly when, but I was fairly new to being on council. Chief Dolphin was our fire marshal at the time, and we had brought this up to council before. And I don't remember if it passed on the first reading and then didn't on the second. I don't remember exactly what it was about, but it was something that we had kind of discussed and started putting into motion, and then all of a sudden, it changed. And it was never to be spoken again. So I'd like for us to, speak on it and make a decision one way or another. I'm sure our chief of police could, probably bring some value into the conversation too, just knowing the difficulties of his officers trying to enforce it. But that's just really that's really the driving force behind me being in favor of opening it up on New Year's and 4th of July, is that we spend a lot of time, officer resources running around on calls, and the way the state law is written, because the fireworks lobby is so powerful in Austin, is that you, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to catch them lighting it. They can't just be in possession of it.
I can't quote it specifically, but there is certain particulars that need to be met to whether you're going to seize fireworks, whether it's open, unopened.
I think our current ordinance states you can't even have it in your possession, it's in there.
That's correct.
State law supersedes it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so then you have some folks that are out there, popping fireworks, and it's 4th of July, then they have a cop come up there and tell them, hey, you can't have fireworks. Well, this is America. We're celebrating freedom. I own this. This is my property, and I can't even let my kids have a sparkler out in the driveway on 4th of July. That's not very American. And I kind of get where they're coming from. So.
What actual days can you do fireworks?
Well, that's
what are
for
the
us to
holidays?
discuss.
I know, but right now.
I think they.
New Year's,
Right
New Year's and 4th of July is
That's the only two.
The most acceptable.
Those are the days that are
Yeah.
where they're commercially sold, through the vendors.
Okay, so all the
So I'm
fireworks.
sure there's other religious holidays
Only
that
two
we
times.
utilize, fireworks, other types of
When
celebrations.
do they open up the booths for sale? Is it 1 week before?
It's
I know they shut
approximately-
off at midnight.
It's approximately 2 weeks prior.
2 weeks before.
Almost 2 weeks prior to that time. So it's a very short period window, and then they stop say the 4th, and they'll stop
Yeah,
the
they shut
1st.
at midnight.
So it's a very short window for the sale of these fireworks.
But I think we need to have the conversation, if we're going to allow fireworks within the city limits, then should we allow the sale of fireworks in the city limits to capture the sales tax revenue that's.
Out of sales.
Well, the problem I see here, I see the pros and cons on this. It is unenforceable. It's always been unenforceable. It's a running joke in this town. Every time we have a holiday and we put that out there, it is the biggest joke on Facebook because we never give a ticket. Here's my
They almost
deal.
take it as a challenge, right?
Yeah, it's just, it really is, it's crazy, they'll do it right in front of you. If we're gonna come up with a deal that says you can pop firecrackers on the 30th and 31st, and we put a time limit on it, how are we gonna, if we start selling them inside the city limits 2 weeks early, that would be my problem. Once we start selling inside the city limits, I don't see where we can say, okay, you can't pop them until the day before, or the 2 days before, and that, up to that day. Because you're gonna have, 12 days, 11 days of times where they bought their
It's gonna be fireworks
You
every
think they're
night.
gonna, you think they're not gonna, it's crazy.
But aren't they
That would be
doing,
the only thing I would see is, because if we allow them to come in and start selling 2 weeks early, and trust me, the competition's gonna start selling 2 weeks early. They're gonna start selling right down the road from my house, and they're gonna start right down here on Highway 6.
So currently, by measuring, comparing with the city of Dickinson, they have their operational hours where it's allowed on the 4th, the 31st, and January 1st. And they have a time frame allowed to it. But it seems like those are the only 3 days where it's allowed. Otherwise, the ordinance says that they're not allowed.
See,
So,
that would be my problem, because I don't know if they're gonna, man.
They're already doing it, though.
I know it, that would be my only problem, is if we're selling them inside the city limits and they were not, in the county, they're gonna be allowed to pop them as soon as they buy them.
If it's unenforceable, if the fireworks ordinance is unenforceable on the 4th and the 31st, what makes it more enforceable on the 30th?
The less people.
Yeah, but I mean,
There'll be less people.
it'll be less people.
I mean, on the 29th, you're not gonna have them like you have on New Year's Eve.
But it
on-
still doesn't make it any more enforceable unless you
Oh, no, I
see
mean,
lighting it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not enforceable, Randy.
Yeah.
I mean, we both know it is not enforceable in this town. We do not have the resources to set
But I can see it
people
if
everywhere.
I would say the limit.
Then we'd be looking like
You can't have 50 fireworks things.
big brother,
Yeah, we would have to limit the amount of
You'd have-
permitted
Permits, yeah.
sales.
yeah, if we can, I don't know how we would do that, if that's legal or not. We'd have to look into that.
So we could do a conditional
Yeah.
use
Okay.
permit with it, in the certain number of zones, certain number of areas, kind of like we've looked at doing with the
Do we auction
different.
them off like the shrimp, like the shrimp permits? Come up to City Hall
It's the
and
same person.
Get a coin.
Well, kind of like we've looked at doing with the different types of vape shops, gas stations, that type of thing, that you can only have so many within however many feet. You can only have however many permits for, however many months, however council would like to structure it. But that would also enact inspections. Manny would go out and do inspections. We would have to do zoning enforcement on it, be sure that they're not storing things they're not supposed to be storing, make sure that they're within compliance and that everyone has licenses to be able to sell in that area, that type of thing, because to have certain items, you've got to be able to pass certain checks on things. So there would be regulations imposed with it. We would just have to make sure that we checked all of those boxes correctly.
Yeah, I think we have to be careful, because if we regulate it too much, or make the permit fee too much, then they're just gonna stay out in the county.
They're gonna stay, that's exactly what I was thinking. And here's my other thought process. We know where they're at right now, because that one on 1764 hadn't moved. Those ones on Highway 6 haven't moved.
646, they move.
They moved theirs, but if we brought them into this town, I'm gonna say probably your best, one of your places is gonna be over that parking lot by Jack in the Box, that corner there. Are we gonna see, this is where it gets a little sketchy to me. I don't wanna see,
Connex building.
I don't wanna see.
Dropped off in the.
I don't want to see I don't want to see a fireworks like I'm looking at right down the road from me right now, sitting there on our prime land in our town, because it gives the point where, and you know what it is, somebody's going to lease them that piece right there. Well, somebody's going to see that and they're just going to, well, this is not for sale, or they want to put a fireworks stand there instead of, that's the only, the optics of it, I get a
Well,
problem.
the permit would be like for only a number certain of days, right?
That's what I was gonna ask, can we make the
Yeah,
conditions?
then they'd have to get it out of
It
there.
would have to be a
Yes.
trailer type, have to make the ordinance where it would be a trailer type deal. They have so many days to get it out of there by the end of sales.
And League City's very stringent on what their requirements are for everything, and we've pulled League City and Dickinson's ordinances to make reference to, so we'll go through that, and then we can put something together and present
Yeah,
it
I
to
just don't, I
council.
don't wanna see full-time fireworks stands, that only
Right.
get used for 2 weeks and then just sit dormant and,
Yeah.
And
I've talked to several of the council members, both in League City and Dickinson, and since they've passed those ordinances, they don't have any regrets about it. I mean, they think it's been great, so not saying it'll be great for us, but
what we're
It'd
doing
be
is not working.
feasible for the user, the vendor, to store and sell in a temporary conditional use permit, because if they want to do a full occupancy in a full zone, they would have to meet much more stringent requirements in that regard as well.
Yeah, I just don't want,
So on the
like
temporary
the old wooden
operational
shacks
side.
that are out there, right, I don't want that, or like Brandon saying a Connex. I
And
just
we can
want them to sit there
determine,
staying
we
there.
can make our stipulations that they meet that particular.
Like the olden days where they came in with the trailer and did their stuff, and then the trailer and all.
Possibly.
But you gotta figure out who you're gonna do it to, because you can't send people over.
And that's not to say the vendors might particularly want to move in when they already have their agreements and their, 10-year existence of sales during the seasonal approaches, so. But in the event we do have one, we'd have to prepare on how we would operate, allow the operation of such business.
So would,
I've
so
seen
would the
somebody would
conditional
buy
use permits for those have to go before planning and zoning? And planning and zoning would have to approve them, or is that an administrative?
If we set it up through planning and zoning, then it would have to go through planning and zoning. If we did it, it would just depend on how we structured it.
Gotcha.
So if city council would like us to structure it in a way that it goes through the zoning ordinance, then we can structure it that way. But it's gonna have to go through public hearings and several other
Right,
hoops to get it there.
yeah.
But if we structure it in the way that it goes through our code of ordinances rather than the development code, then if you would like it, or it can be a city manager approval and fire marshal and police or whoever,
How did Lake City do it?
we would have to go look.
I don't believe they allow the sale within their jurisdiction.
Oh, did, okay.
They
but
do allow the
Dickinson
ordinance
is,
for,
though.
to pop.
So you can fire them off, but you can't buy them.
Yes, they didn't repeal the sale. I know with League City, I did study that one more than I did Dickinson, but I did catch that. So on the sale, it's still, I think you can say it's a split component, because there's different parameters that need to be met on that side.
Anybody have any idea?
Show me sales tax.
Huh?
Whatever we get on sales tax, I don't know what.
If they report it,
Yeah.
if they're doing cash business.
Yeah.
And they sold $500 of fireworks.
Yeah.
And we get 2% of that, and we spent $100 on a fire marshal to go and inspect it, and, then we're losing money on it.
We were looking somewhere in the range of $250 to $300 for a permit, just at base level.
Yeah, just to cover our staff time. What does the county charge?
I couldn't find it on their website. I'm gonna have to make a call.
Yeah, okay. Well, on 4th of July, council, this is what I'm thinking. Not everybody's off on the 5th of July. Some people are, a lot of people aren't. So I think it would need to end, for 4th of July, I think it would need to end, I would say 10 o'clock. I don't think any later than that. 11 maybe. I know it doesn't get dark till probably close to 9 on 4th of July anyways.
Unless it's a week.
I'd make it.
You could stipulate a week.
That way you just start the new day.
What's that?
I'd make both of them midnight.
You can't make it midnight on New Year's Eve.
Make it 1.
Yeah, you don't start it till midnight.
I know, but you don't need to go past 1.
I wouldn't think so. If you got an hour-long fireworks
How long,
show.
our fireworks show was 30 minutes.
I don't know how.
And that was, and most of those guys though, they start the big fireworks shows out here at the county, they start them early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah,
got
I
some
think 1 o'clock.
first-class shows out here.
New Year's Day, January 1,
You might
1
go after
o'clock.
it's dark, not 9 o'clock.
You look and see what League City does.
There's
Most
plan.
people, most people are done by 1.
Yeah.
When we can get the comparables of what other cities are doing, then we can reach out further throughout the state and get those comparables and present them.
But they didn't allow the sales in the city.
Correct.
They don't want the junked up shacks in League City.
There you go. They got the money.
And
there.
they're not worried about sales.
Yeah, they got the money to say, they got the money to say.
No, I haven't gone to interview and ask why.
I'd like to know,
There's always a reason.
Dickinson sold them inside the city though, I believe, huh?
Lake City's also fairly built out, so there's not a lot of open.
Yeah, they'd
land
have to be going to the county.
to have other
Yeah.
places to put
They don't report.
trains.
They'd have to be going and buying them in San Leon, I guess. Well, that's the county,
Right.
about the only thing that's left.
Yeah.
There are some in Dickinson,
That's the problem.
and all of us back here.
So all we really need is direction tonight, and I think we can break it into one, or we can break it up. So number one would be, are we even interested in having staff spend the time to look and see what a 2 or 3 day exception to the ordinance is?
I'm all for it.
Okay, so use, perfect.
So
Sale.
So it seems like there's, yeah, the two-prong component, whether we do the sales or whether we allow the ordinance to open up and let the community participate in that. And then, of course, we would come back with the operational conditions, what safety requirements that's still consistent with state law.
If we're gonna open, let's sell it.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, that's the whole point of this.
And we can do that assessment as well.
I mean, we can pay
Again,
some-
it's y'all's discretion.
Maybe pay a little bit with that. I don't know how much fireworks.
It's gotta make sense, right? I think it could cost a little bit more to be in the city limits than in the county because you're closer to the people.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the people are gonna have to pass the one in the city to go to the county.
Right.
So you're willing to pay a little bit more so that you can be closer to the people, be the first fireworks stand that they get to on 646. But, if they're not paying anything at the county and we want them to pay $250, I don't know that they would be willing to do it.
Oh,
They might be.
They've gotta be paying something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure they are. But I think the direction that we got is to move forward with the 3 day exemption of the ordinance and some type of process for permitting the sale of it.
You could also look at the business competition aspect of that. If we're in the county, and like you said, the people are in the city, competition-wise, they may want to pay the fee and come to the city
Yeah.
where the people
Be
are.
the first one they get to.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what I can do going
It's worth
forward.
looking at both aspects of it.
What I can do going forward is getting a comparative within the county, the region, and maybe throughout the state to see what communities allow similar activity besides our neighboring cities, and to see the analysis of how they received it, how the community received it, and or any potential safety concerns.
Yeah, and I'm
To
not.
give that assessment to you all to move forward or where to guide it.
I'm not as familiar with Dickinson's as I am with League City, and they may be exactly the same, but I would think at least for what League City has on the use of them, don't reinvent the wheel. Like if it's working for League City,
I agree.
Delete League City and put Santa Fe,
Mr. Mayor, I'm very well
You good
with that process.
You good at that, copy and paste? Okay, good. Council, anything else? Okay, thank y'all.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. So we'll have that back at the April meeting?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Because if we're gonna do it, we want to do it in time
Correct.
for 4th of July. Although we're hoping that nobody will be popping fireworks on 4th of July, and they'll all be at the county fairgrounds with us,
Right.
watching our fireworks show. All right, item number 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Are there any citizen comments? Y'all are sitting out here. I just want to make sure I don't miss y'all. If y'all have an item that y'all want to speak about, make sure y'all let me know.
Speak about the fireworks?
You want to speak about the fireworks?
Yeah, coming here from.
Sure, you have to come up here and speak, state your name, and speak into the podium. That way the people online don't get mad at us. They'll say, I can't hear anything he's saying.
Not a problem. Jason Gibson, I live here in Santa Fe, moved here from Fort Bend County. If you look at where we were from, which is Fresno, they allowed fireworks to be sold, but there was no enforcement at all of the fireworks during any time. And it would go on till 1, 2, 3 in the morning. And even when you called to say, hey, they are still setting them off, it was, we've got other things going on. So consideration for those that have lived through that. If you want to go see what they're like on July 1st through July 7th or any weekend in summer, head to Fresno. They're just like Santa Fe, same size. And you'll see what can happen during just a holiday, just one holiday, and how it actually blows up.
Yeah,
So,
I appreciate that.
thank you.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, it's just the city, or the state makes it so hard on us to enforce it. It's just difficult. I wish it was different. I wish the law was if you're caught in possession of it, you'd be ticketed. But that fireworks lobby, hard to
It
get
seems the
around.
more we talk about trying to, the more we talk about enforcing it or bringing it up, the worse it gets. I mean, so it's not gonna stop.
No, it's not gonna stop. You're right. best thing that we can do is determine whether it's a good use of taxpayer resources to try to enforce an unenforceable law.
Try something, what we're doing is not working.
All right, item number 4. Oh, was there any other citizen comments on that item? Okay. All right, item number 4, consideration and possible action, approval of the repairs of the Great All XL 3100, Unit 0526. Mr. Crepon.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening, Billy.
I'm in front of y'all again because we have a Great All that's broke down and it needs a motor. And I give y'all some pictures today, and they're claiming, ASCO and Volvo Pinto are claiming that the motor has gotten dirt, sucked up dirt and dust through the intake pipes of the machine that caused the issue. And what the pictures show, I see more of the turbo pieces missing out of the turbo, which happened to the first motor even. That on the second set of pictures, I even show y'all the scarring and the cylinders. Dirt does not scar cylinders and tear up the walls and the cylinders and the rings in the motor.
Is that the first pictures, Billy, you're talking about, Steve?
It'll be the second set of pictures with the little red camera dots on the bottom. You can see the scarring on the cylinder walls and on the top of the pistons. I even had, at first they didn't even want to bring in the Volvo Pinto people, and I made them bring them in and analyze the motor. And I had an oil sample done on the motor to make sure that the oil, there wasn't nothing wrong with the oil, that it'd be contaminated or anything. And the oil sample come back good on the cylinder, on the motor, that it wasn't a problem with the oil. And we had the same issue with the last round with, it starts out with number 2 cylinder, and number 2 cylinder had 14 PSI compression on it. Number 3 cylinder had 80 on it, number 4 cylinder had 80 on it, and number 1 cylinder had 100 on it, and number 6 cylinder had 100 PSI on it.
So you lost the rings out of the cylinder?
Yes, it's scarred,
And they just carbon to make
it
gold?
just didn't scar the cylinders and the top of the piston. We lost rings and number 2. And way that the intake, I've been chasing down, talking to different mechanics and everything, and way it is that how the intake comes in from the turbo, number 2 cylinder catches the first, and then it spreads out to 2 and 3, and then 4 and 5 and 6. So number 2 cylinder catches most of everything that comes through first. And that's why I believe we're seeing so much damage on number 2 cylinder. And
That's the first 2 cylinders on the vehicle.
they are claiming that you see the pictures with you see the pictures of the turbos. If you look at that picture close, what I see pieces missing off of that turbo.
Oh, yeah, it's been hitting something. We've got that at the,
Yes, but
on our turbo.
they're claiming these clamps on the intake pipe.
Band
You can see
clamps.
these band clamps. They're spring loaded. That is a spring, them clamps are spring loaded on each one of them. And they're saying that you can see the dust. That's just regular wear and tear putting the filter in and out of the housing. By our maintenance records, we have changed the air filter more than normal. And the amount of hours it has on it, we was only supposed to change the air filter 1 time. It's already been changed twice. And the air filter gets blows out every week before they ever fire it up in the mornings. And they're even showing on this one, they're saying that the dust and the dirt is coming in around the edge of that. And they're the ones that put the motor in the machine. We put that motor in at 1,858 hours. It is exactly 2 years and 2 months. And the hours on this motor that went out is 1,887, 29 hours difference.
That, the new engine only has 29 hours on it.
No, the new engine has 1,887.
Oh, 18.
But from the first time the motor went out in it the first time to now,
I understand.
you know, they're so close on the hours, they're both almost the same exact hours.
And same exact failure the first time.
Yeah, and see, they even said something about running the machine, how hard you run the machine and stuff. Mr. Schroeder knows, he's running great alls over at the county. With the emissions, when you let go of the controls, the machine idles down automatically. You don't have a choice to leave that machine running wide open. It does it on its own. Once you let go, you work in pairs. When we're digging ditches, the excavator's got an excavator operator and a dump truck driver. Great All's got a dump truck driver and a Great All operator. When you fill a dump truck up, he has to leave and go dump, come back. As soon as you stop the machine, as soon as it's not pivoting or you're not moving your hands, it goes down to idle, 1,200 RPMs. So there's no way, and talking to different mechanics, even in-town mechanics and out-of-town mechanics, and they're just shaking their head. One of our entities close to us right now has got a 500 horse tractor right now. It don't even have 500 hours on it. The turbos went out on it. And they're not wanting to replace the motor because it's under warranty. But once the turbo goes out and them pieces get down in the motor, like Mr. Schroeder said, you done lost the rings and the cylinder walls and everything. There's no way, we can't even plug into this machine. It's computerized and they're the only ones that have the software. So you can't even see what's wrong with it. And then when you do plug into it, it don't tell you anything that's internally wrong with the motor. So you're kind of blind. You don't know anything that's going on with this machine till it starts acting up. And that's as soon as we knew it would start acting up, we got the machine to them right away. And then they're saying it's too late. We're 2 months out of warranty.
So Billy, was this a new engine or was this a rebuild of our old one?
New engine, new turbo, new
So this is a new
injectors.
turbo?
Yes, sir. We checked all that.
This one we paid $55,000 on?
Yes, sir.
So what are they saying, for local entities, what are they saying about, you said they're shaking their head?
Yeah, they're saying,
What are they saying?
the mechanics are shaking their head and said dirt didn't cause them to have
Yeah,
them scars in the cylinders.
We're not in the, I mean, I could see if we're on a road, in road construction, we're digging ditches.
Yes. And most of our, we have some dusty roads here and there, but most of our roads are asphalt roads. It ain't like we're working in a pit
Right.
somewhere where we're turning up dust all day long.
Not just loading rock and
we have a maintenance sheet my guys have to go through every morning before you fire up the equipment, and we blow down the air filters and they check the oil and all the fluids and everything. We go through the whole shooting match. And
what do you think the value of that machine is right now?
nothing. They won't even, when you buy a new one, this is what.
That's what those
when we got.
That's what they've gotten to, those X4100s is, that's it?
Yes, when we had our other one that was running great that we got rid of, the trade-in value wasn't but $5,000.
Gee. That's my problem, putting this money into this.
Correct.
So
because if we lose it,
What's the long-term goal, Billy?
Sir?
What's the
get out
long-term goal?
of, get out of these.
Get away from it.
And do what?
Go back to 2 excavators.
When can that start taking place?
Well, we can do that in the budget, but I do think for right now, we've got,
No, I'm not saying do it right now.
Yeah.
What is the outlook for that? I know we gotta get it fixed, we gotta get something back in service.
correct. And thankfully for us, I think that, we've got $25,000 that you guys have budgeted for the Great All individually every year. And so we've got that $25,000. And then Public Works, we just did the auction that you guys approved last month. And we came in way over auction than what we were even expecting. So we were thinking probably $20,000 to $25,000, and we took in $42,000. So $300 above when you put that together, the cost of the repair of this Great All. So it will be covered. There'll be no effect to the budget.
I think, who are we using for filters?
Sir,
Who are we using for filters?
there's only one place, Great All.
Oh, really? We're buying these from Great
Yes,
All?
sir. You have to. They will not sell it.
Really?
The only reason I do the oil change on the machine, the filters cost me $850. You know what it costs me if they do the oil change? $2,850 if they change the oil in the machine.
Those air filters are proprietary?
Yes, sir.
Air filters, I mean?
They've got it figured out.
What I would do,
The green and the red machine.
I would get the air filter rep down here, and I would ask them straight out, do we blow them air filters out every week? Do we just leave them in that canister until we get to the hour time of where we take them out?
Well,
because, that, I've lost a warranty once.
well, we went over that.
On that.
We went over that already, and they recommended that we blow them out every week.
Really?
And they recommended that there wasn't nothing wrong with these filters that are in the machine now.
There's gotta be a
We
break.
have a maintenance book that's with the machine,
Yeah.
and it
That's right.
don't even tell you, they said that you need to be checking these clamps every 500 hours.
That's what I was about to get at.
It don't tell you to check.
It doesn't tell you to do any of that. You go to.
The only thing they want you to check is the little bobber that
Yeah,
goes from
yeah.
green to red
Right.
if the filter stopped up. But other than that.
You go by
there's
your
nothing-
hours, yeah.
There's nothing in the book that tells you needed to be checking these intake pipes.
I think that,
I'll tell you, before I got involved in the city on this side, I did an auction for the city one time. And I sold a 1992 or something John Deere tractor at a Billy's Yard. And they had more documentation, and I'm a 1991 model, okay? They had more documentation on that tractor than my baby book.
yeah.
Well, even in the.
Billy handed it to me. It was like this, and it was every filter change, every oil change, for 30 years.
This one's gonna be easy because it's 2 years. But what, I would get that air filter, we've got to get to, if they're saying that it's coming through the air filter, and that's what they're saying.
No, they're saying
it's coming through them clamps. That's
They say
crazy.
it's coming through the clamps on the intake pipes.
So Billy,
And their new quote on the new motor has new intake pipes and air filter canister and everything on there.
How about the last time?
No.
so Billy, what value roughly would you put on this machine once the new motor's in?
That's what he says, 70,000.
At least $150,000. Because these machines now are $500,000.
So I know we really need to move forward with this, just because hurricane season's around the corner. We need to have that machine ready. But I would like for us to have some serious discussion about when hurricane season's over, this thing goes on the market, and we move towards excavators.
Yes.
Yeah, like around October.
Yeah, this is probably, we're right in budget season too, so, we can definitely
I
look
sure
into
wouldn't
this.
let it run past the 2-year warranty time before we
I don't
talked
even
about
want to
it.
get close to that.
No.
With the known history, and we're gonna look for someone that may be interested in one.
Is it transferable to warranty?
Yes, it should be. Shouldn't be no problem transferring the warranty.
Just make sure
I will ask that
for selling
question.
purposes.
Yes.
Well, I think we're getting hung out to dry on this deal a little bit, but what else can we do? File a lawsuit against ASCO? There ain't nothing we can do. Either pay it or don't, Unfortunately.
Well,
I am happy to hear that the auction did so well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't have to
Essentially a
use
net-
any of, because I was looking at just trying to be real creative and pulling, funds from everything, and thankfully I don't have to do that. I was shocked at some of the values that we got for our equipment. I was actually blown away with how much that we got in auction.
We did great.
The next
We
auction.
we held back the tractor for the Parks Department, and we still did real well on auction.
well, just let, my old buddies from the old highway equipment know how much we're enjoying that Caterpillar.
Yes, sir.
All right, council.
I move to approve the repairs to the Great All Unit 0526, the amount of $66,947.63 as presented.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the repairs to the Great All Unit 0526 in the amount of $66,947.63 as presented. Any citizens' comments on this item? Billy, you went above and beyond on getting all of this stuff together, and I want to thank you for that. You could have came up here and shrugged your shoulders and.
We deal with this day in, day out, and it really upsets you when you get a piece of equipment that you hadn't had a brand new motor in 2 years, and then you're looking at 2 years again at the same problem.
Yeah.
And they did the work and they won't stand behind their word.
They did the work, just like he's saying, and
Won't stand behind it.
won't stand behind it, and then when you even call in the manufacturer who put the motor, that builds the motors, and then they don't want to stand behind it either.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, we always talk about transparency and being accountable and fiscally conservative with tax dollars, and you going above and beyond to do this, it chips in for that, to know that we did our homework, we looked down every rabbit hole, and this is just where we're at. So
yes, sir.
makes it a little easier to swallow.
I don't know about that, but it is.
So
What are you looking at, a month to get it back?
was going to
10
be
weeks.
10 weeks.
That's why.
We're in hurricane season.
He's saying if we don't hurry up, and see, this other motor was in here during barrel, we used that machine the whole time during barrel loading out for trees and stuff.
Do we have to bring this up again, or can we approve it on the first and final?
No, it's.
Yeah, y'all approve it on this. Yeah, y'all approve it on
Yeah,
this.
it's just
Y'all good to go.
one vote is all it takes.
Yeah.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, Natalie, roll call, please.
Councilmember Schrader,
Yes.
Councilmember McKamey,
Yes.
Councilmember Jeanette,
Yes.
Councilmember Dickerson,
Yes.
and Councilmember Marks.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, council. Number 5, consideration and possible action, adoption of a resolution of the City Council of the City of Santa Fe, Texas, approving drainage improvement projects funded by the Santa Fe Economic Development Corporation. Billy and Rudy tag teaming it.
Yes, Mayor and Council, these are the 8 drainage projects that we went to EDC on, and we got back the bids the other day, and Metro City won the 2nd drainage project, the 3rd drainage project, and the 6th drainage project. And then Wagner Construction won the 1st project, the 4th project, the 5th project, the 7th project, and the 8th project on the jobs, on the 8 jobs. I believe Metro City totaled up to be $188,729, and Wagner Construction totaled up to be $398,725, which brought us in around $150,000 cheaper than the $750 that we asked the EDC for.
I like it.
On project 4,
Yeah,
the low bid is Teca, and they are considerably low.
Yes, and when we talked to them.
They're not gonna come in just
They
for
didn't
one
want to,
night.
they didn't want to even entertain it.
Okay.
They asked us to pass it on.
Okay, which of these bids, which of the projects are gonna deal with 24th and
Project
T over there?
Project 8, Mr. Schroeder.
8?
Yes, sir, that will be relieving the east and west Bel Air and off of 24th Street. The water builds up and crosses over people's yard. And we've done clean out everything coming down 24th Street, down to R, to Cloud Bayou. And the water builds so much, it'll go down Sesame Street and come back around to Avenue T. We're going to enlarge both
It
sides
looks
of
like
the
that's the
road.
biggest project too.
Sir?
Well, it looks like that's the biggest project.
Yes,
cost-wise.
because of how many driveways got to be done there. We're doubling up the culverts to 24-inch culverts all the way down to the city limit sign. And then the county has made a commitment with me last year even, and I touched base to make sure it was still good today. And yes, they are there's about 4 driveways past me that need to be doubled up culverts, and they're gonna take care of their part.
It's awesome.
So we're gonna take that south on T.
Yes, sir, it goes to Shed Lane, and then Shed Lane to the east to Cloud Bayou. And we all know, I think y'all went on a field trip with the drainage district to see how Cloud Bayou was coming.
Unbelievable.
We also looked at the head of Cloud up there
Yes, the
Kind of
front,
behind
the
R.
front part where it
Yeah,
starts
yeah.
at 24th Street right there.
Exactly, in R.
Is this the road back there where that pasture is?
Yes, sir. Right there, you can see where the ditch kind of makes it on, it starts on an angle right there. That's the beginning of Cloud Bayou. And like Mr. Schroeder said, the drainage district is even looking at, when they get the ditch widened all the way past 28th Street, they're looking at that area too, trying to purchase some of that property.
Billy, do you have any idea for Wagner on how many of these projects they'll be able to run simultaneously?
No, sir, I don't, because
Simultaneous.
we hadn't told either contractor that they have the jobs.
Right, no, I understand that, but I didn't know, is it gonna be one at a time? See, I like splitting it, because that way Metro can be working on theirs and Wagner can be working on theirs, right? So they,
Yes, sir.
they'll be going at the same time. I guess what my question is on Wagner, do we have any idea? I mean, will it just be one project at a time, or will they be able to work on project 1 and project 5 at the same time?
Knowing them,
What the
they'll
capacity
probably
is?
be working on 2, probably possibly 3 projects at once.
Gotcha.
We kind of got the time limit. I think we only got 90 days on it, on a project, on the total.
Oh, so they have to be done with their portion in 90 days?
3 months.
That's quick.
Just trying to preparation of hurricane season.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love it. That's great.
What do we have south of the track, 6, 7, and 8?
Yes, sir, you have 18th Street, where 18th turns into L right there. We're putting a double set of 24s across that crossover right there, because I have a project coming up with DD1. We are clearing that whole tree line and pulling that ditch back 10 feet.
Yeah.
From 646 all the way to the corner.
Yeah.
And then the other one over there is Avenue M. That's Highland, called Highland C. And there's 2 rolls of 36-inch culverts in there now, and we're upgrading and putting 3 rolls in there, because once you get off of Avenue M, when you get to the M&a-half, then poor people over there, that water won't get off of them. We can't get it off of them fast enough. And they come close to, a bunch of those houses come close to
So that's,
flooding.
okay, you're coming back down 24th.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Billy, have you ever worked with Metro City before?
No, sir. We just talk to references.
Okay, so you have checked some references and feel comfortable with them?
We talked to Harris County and then the city of Galveston, and they were both very enthusiastic about them as a company and said that they did great jobs, had minimal change orders. The city of Galveston actually said the only change order they had was requested by the city of Galveston, was not requested by the vendor.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Wagner. They've been running these roads for a long time.
When we do this work, what's the, I mean, we're gonna be talking about pulling up culverts in the road too, right? Crossovers?
Correct, sir.
What are we going back with?
Cement, 2.5 sack cement stabilized with hot mix over top.
Okay.
Any of the roads.
Are we doing that, or is the contractor doing it?
Contractor's doing it.
Okay.
That's part of the contract. Went back with the 2.5 sack stabilized mix so it would not sink down. So when they get ready to re-asphalt the road, we don't have to worry about it having a dip in it.
Like 4th Street.
That would be my concern on 11th. 11th, just. I don't
Yes,
know. I question.
Once the stabilized sand sets overnight, that's just like concrete.
11th, we are so tall on that road. What, none of the guys are here, I guess, that are bidding this contract. Okay.
You'll be the project manager for all this stuff?
Correct, sir.
You'll keep them in line?
Make sure that it goes smooth.
All right, council, any further discussion?
I move to approve the resolution awarding drainage improvement projects 1, 4, 5, 7, and 8 to D. Wagner Construction Company, Inc., and awarding projects 2, 3, and 6 to Metro City LLC as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the resolution awarding drainage improvement projects 1, 4, 5, 7, and 8 to D. Wagner Construction Company Incorporated, and awarding projects 2, 3, and 6 to Metro City LLC as presented. Council, is there any further discussion? Any citizen comments? Natalie, roll call, please.
Councilmember Dickerson?
Yes.
Councilmember Marks?
Yes.
Councilmember Schrader?
No.
Councilmember McKamey?
Yes.
And Councilmember Jeanette?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Billy. All right, item number 6, consideration and possible action adoption of a resolution of the City Council of the City of Santa Fe, Texas, authorizing the approval of the 2026 strategic plan. Mr. Collins.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. As you remember, early this year, each one of you and all of our staff participated in our first strategic planning session. We took 3 days to put the strategic plan together. When I got here in July, I read through the comprehensive master plan that was done a few years ago, and I think that it's a great document. It had a lot of great input from our citizens across the city. One of the issues that I had with the document is that it had no clear goals or objectives that I would say that were in reach or were achievable by our staff. And so in trying to put a document together that could give us timelines and a basis to work from, to almost serve as our Bible here at the city, we put together the strategic plan. We went through several issues that the city is facing. One of the great things that I felt that came out of that strategic planning session was we had a lot of solutions brought forth. To address some of our challenges that we have here. It gives us clear guidelines for staff that we can operate by. It was a great policy manual, and that I just want to thank all of my staff members, each of your times putting this together. What some people don't see is that we would get here, our planning session would be from 8 to 5 with a 30-minute lunch and 2 15-minute breaks in between. And outside of that, several of our staff stayed back. We stayed up here till 11 o'clock each night just trying to input the documentation because we didn't go out for a consultant. We were being very good stewards of our tax dollars, so we didn't go out and get a consultant, which could cost $100,000-$200,000 like we have in the past. So we put this together, and I wanted to know if you had any questions on it or if any changes, if it needed to be amended. But it is with my full recommendation that we adopt the 2026 strategic plan.
So I only have one issue with this document, and that is that I take exception to the longhorn that's on the cover. So I would ask that either the longhorn be removed or the horns of the longhorn be sawed off short.
Okay, I request that we can't talk about any more Italian festival.
There might be pitchforks and torches up here about that.
Hey, I'm going to a birthday party, so I'm good.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
Well, we thought that
At least maroon Aggie bonnets instead of the blue bonnets.
Come on, man. Hey, that's the most Texas.
Here's the deal. We've got the Texas Tech horse on there, and we've got the TU Longhorn.
What are we gonna put, a big thumb in
That's
there?
not a longhorn.
We could at least have maroon Aggie bonnets.
The background in the sky is purple.
Yeah, they got some maroon in the sky. Come on.
Notice the sunset and sunrise.
Hey, the
God is
lettering on the
longhorn.
water towers.
It's burnt orange. Just saying.
Yo, I can't win with this crowd.
Just saying.
I guarantee you, God.
No, all joking aside, Seth, I appreciate your leadership
Thank you, sir.
in putting this together, and I appreciate staff coming together and putting together this document. I'm very excited about this document and the direction that it's going to take us in as a council. And just appreciate all the hard work from all the boards, council.
Yeah, and I did forget to mention, we will be adopting each board strategic plan with them in a joint meeting. So I know that we've got a meeting scheduled on April the 6th with the EDC. And I definitely don't want to pass them by for each of the Planning and Zoning Commission, the Parks and Recreation Board, and then the Economic Development Corporation. All of their board members and commissioners came in and spent a lot of time helping us craft this document. But for this one, this is just the department, so just for us, and we'll adopt the strategic plans with each board as we get to them within the next couple months.
I think this is one of the, it was one of the best tools since I've been on council that we've used. I appreciated all the guys, the department heads and and the boards and being able to talk to them in a setting, that we could just kind of talk and, not where we're up here and, I learned a lot, and I think a lot of them learned a lot about us. I thought it was very good.
Absolutely.
I move to approve the resolution approving the 2026 strategic plan as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the resolution approving the 2026 strategic plan as presented. Any citizen comments? Council, any further discussion? Hearing none, Natalie, roll call, please.
Councilmember Schrader?
Yes.
Councilmember McKamey?
Yes.
Councilmember Jeanette?
Yes.
Councilmember Dickerson?
Yes.
And Councilmember Marks?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, council. All right, announcements.
Picket Fence has their third Saturday market, Saturday, and it is well attended. We have they'll have a couple of food trucks out there. I don't know exactly which ones are coming, but has been well attended. There's a lot of local people, crafts, stuff like that. So if you're out and about Saturday from 9 to 2, it's worth a stop by there and see the people there at Picket Fence on Highway 6 there next to Hometown Rentals, right before Cemetery Road.
And Mayor, I did want to thank our citizens for coming to the Touch a Truck event that we had. We had several entities that participated. I want to thank our staff and then the Parks Board for helping us with that endeavor. I took my own children out there and they enjoyed it immensely. So that's definitely a great event that we do for our citizens and look forward to doing that every year. And again, just want to remind everybody on March 28th that we'll have our annual Easter egg hunt. So hope to see y'all out there.
Absolutely. April 2nd is going to be the Santa Fe, Texas Education Foundation Winning for Education Gala. Tickets and tables are available. It's going to be down at the San Luis or the Galveston Convention Center on April 2nd. So we'd love to have you down there to support our exceptional school district that we have here in Santa Fe. Any other announcements? All right. We are going to be retiring into executive session for Chapter 551.072, which is the regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, and then also pursuant to Chapter 551.087, which is regarding economic development negotiations. I did want to make sure that I give y'all an opportunity to speak if you needed to address council about anything. No? Good? Okay.
You need to address something, but not council.
Okay.
So we'll do that.
Okay. All right. So we are going to retire into executive session. Staff, please don't feel obligated to wait on us. Georgia. All right, it is 10:05. I call this regular meeting back to order. Council, is there any action from executive session?
Nope, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good evening.